Welcome back. Most of you have got your offer letters and now it's the time to apply for the study permit. And although you have gone through the entire process of applying to colleges and universities, which is a big deal in itself, but you have one more thing that is pending in order to fulfill your dream of going abroad, and that is the study permit. So I know this from experience. While I was applying for my study permit, I wanted to be super clear that I'm not missing any document, because you have done all the hard work, you have written the SOPs, you have searched for the universities that you want to apply, and now that you finally have passed that struggle period, obviously you wouldn't want any one thing to go wrong that will hinder your chances of getting the study permit. So this is why I've made this video, so that you know what all documents do you require in order to file the study permit. If you are new to this channel, my name is Bani Singh and I study at Schulich School of Business, and the kind of videos I make will help you in getting an edge on studying and settling abroad. So let's start with the document list, and I'll divide the document list into two parts. One is the documents that you already have and just need to assemble, and second would be the documents that you need to acquire if you haven't already done so. So starting with the documents that you already have, it would be your 10th grade mark sheet, 12th grade mark sheet, and if you have done your undergrad, then your detailed mark sheets of the undergrad. And only the degree wouldn't do, they require the detailed mark sheets. So make sure that you have semester wise detailed mark sheets attached in the study permit file. Now number two, considering that you are applying for study permit, you would have your passport, so you need your passport, and also you would have taken the IELTS examination or TOEFL, so you need to have that as well. Number three would be your offer letter. Congratulations, you made it. You got through all the hard work that you put in, so give yourself a pat on the back. And number fourth would be your scholarship letter, if you have gotten any scholarship. Now coming to the second part of the video, the documents that you do not already have. So I'll divide this section into non-financial and financial, because the financial one is a little tricky. So the documents that you would need to gather, if you have any work experience, then you would need proof of employment, so that's one. If you are thinking of applying in the STS stream, then you need to have undergone your examination, your medical examination beforehand, and you will have to submit the medical examination sheet as well, so that you can get your study permit faster. Now whether you should or should not apply for STS, if you should prefer non-STS, so I have made a video on that. You can watch that video for a detailed discussion, but just to tell you that for STS you will have to deposit the tuition fees for 1 year in advance. So that's one major difference. And don't worry, you can also apply for non-STS, and if you apply well in time, then it's no big deal. And the third thing is that you have to get photos clicked of yourself, and for this study permit you'll need two, but you will also need photographs for your medical examination, so make sure that you have plenty, but also make sure that you do not have loads of photographs, because if you might be thinking that when you go abroad you'll use the same photograph, because there are certain specifications, for example that the photos must have been clicked within 6 months of the duration from this date, so you cannot have many old photos, so don't waste that much of money. Now the fourth one would be your letter of explanation, and this would be similar to your SOP in a kind of way. In your SOP you mentioned why you want to come to that university, why you want to pursue that course. So similarly, for letter of explanation you need to explain why you want to come to Canada. And now comes the tricky part, which is the financial documents. At least this was very tricky for me. I personally felt, do I need this document? Do I need that document? Oh, I should attach this document as well. So let's address this. Let's address the documents that you will need, and the number one would be your GIC. So you would need to show that you have enough living expenses for the first year of your stay in Canada. I personally went for GIC and I did it in Scotiabank, but it doesn't make a difference. Don't scratch your head on which bank should you choose. If you have a bank which is on the list of the immigration website, which I have put in my STS versus non-STS category, so you will be fine. Just make sure that your bank would be accessible where you are. For example, as I told in that video, ICICI is an Indian bank, so there are not many branches in Canada, so rather go with a Canadian bank. So that's just my 2 cents on it. Otherwise you will be fine. Don't think too much about it. Now this is the living expenses part is done, and the number 2 would be your tuition fees. So you can show the immigration officials that you have enough money. One option is through the education loan. You can show all the documents related to that. And number 2 would be that you have enough savings in your bank account. Suppose you have worked in India and you have enough savings, so you can show your bank account details. The third way that you can go about this is that you can show your parents' bank account details, and also you can show your parents' ITR. And if you worked in India, then you can also show your ITR. So the website says that you have to show the last 2 years of ITR, so you can show those. Now if you will mention that your parents would be sponsoring you for your education, then you need to have a reference letter in which they will state that they are ready to sponsor you, and they'll have to sign that, so you will have to also attach that document. Another way that you can demonstrate this is that you can show that you have already paid your first year of tuition fees, which would be applicable if you are applying for STS. And it's always advisable that you can show surplus funds, so it's better, but it's not that you have to go all the way and you have to show this, you have to show that. If 2 or 3 documents can show that you have enough funds, then it's all right. You don't need 5-6 documents. And another source would be if you have gotten your scholarship, so you can attach that document as well. And if you are applying through an agent, they'll guide you that these documents are necessary and these would suffice, and you don't need to go overboard. Why I'm stressing so much about this point is that you tend to think that you need so many documents, but you do not. The precise ones with all the sufficient funds would do, and you do not need to go overboard. But also you have to make sure that you have enough documents that showcase that you or either your parents or any sponsor would be able to do so. So I'll repeat these financial documents for you. The mandatory one is GIC, or showing that you have $10,000, and the other ones would be the bank statement, the ITR receipts for the last 2 years, and what else? And your scholarship, and also the reference letter. And you can have both your as well as your parents' ITR and bank statements. Apart from GIC, the mandatory item would be, if you're applying through STS, is the receipt that you have paid your first year of tuition fees. So this was the list, and there's one essential item which is left, without which all these documents would be rendered useless. So that is the credit card. In order to pay for the application fees, you need to have a credit card, and the fees for the study permit application is $150, and for the biometrics it is $85. And you have an option of paying those separately, that you pay the study permit fees first, and when you have to apply for your biometric you pay that later, but I advise that you do it all at once. So this was the full-fledged list, and apart from this, obviously you have to fill out certain forms, but this was just the video for the document, so that's it. And I would really appreciate if you can comment in the comment box any feedback that you might have for me, any other topics that you would like to have information on, so that I can make videos cater to that. And also, how are you doing? Also, you can catch a glimpse of my life on my Instagram ID, which is Bunny Abroad, and you can be my friends there. I hope you like this video as much as I love the Canadian summers, and it is 6:50 and it's so bright right now. You can see the sun falling on my face. And one fun fact that the sun sets here around 9:30, so that's a lot of daytime, which I absolutely love. I love the days to be longer and the nights to be shorter, so that's good for me. But come winters and this thing would reverse. So now if you liked my video, then it would mean the world to me if you like it and subscribe to the channel and also hit the bell icon. This way you wouldn't miss any video. So that's all from my side. Stay safe, stay happy, and spread your happiness, spread your love. Bye.